often instead of benching and sinking like a stone. So what do you guys think? It's 7-Eleven right now. Time for pizza for the Canadian. They got me. 7-Eleven, no?
Yes.
We'd like to touch a little bit about the ensure that everyone can have a digital capacity to realize themselves, or what to put in place really to support the two previous dimensions with the digital transformation. Because the takeaways again were, hold on a second. Yeah, where reliable connectivity for telework and so on, e-commerce, how could we speed up the e-commerce, data storage, the security, digital identity, e-commerce for every small business. And right now, as I told you, it's been like the last 5 weeks. I'm mostly doing my earning right now by helping small business in my community of getting Uber to skip the dish, or the way to order through Facebook and Instagram and stuff like this. So I'm not even doing business agility coaching, because we realized that nobody would like to help our Greek restaurant to order online. Just an example, because I have two Greek gentlemen with me, so I'm
That's
not
right.
being no, but that's crazy, because these guys are, even if they are young like us, they are still in the mindset that I have a couple of waitress, I have a delivery guy, and the phone. And
But
from there,
it's never been a priority for them,
what?
right? Never been a priority for them. It was.
No, but
It
now it
always
is.
had a good reason to procrastinate that decision, how to go digital.
Exactly. But that's pretty amazing, because I've got three restaurants now. They said like after this lockdown, they will keep those functionality, even if they say like, oh yeah, Uber charge us 30% of the meal. Yeah. But they may, one of the guy, he make a calculation. He says like, I don't have to, it will cost less money for them to operate with Uber and skip the dish than having 5 delivery guys,
Hmm.
even under the table, if I may say so.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so for them the model has changed too. So when we're saying about the layoff earlier, so that will be another aspect. Now they are addicted to the Facebook and the Uber way of ordering food and pickup and yes, amazing and beautiful people. Welcome to the 101, the room 101, the 101 episode of the Friday Live Agile since my day. And I showed you what I did was an initiative of myself, and also inspired by a lot of my people that I work with. And once again, for those who just discover me, it's the it's the tiger. It's gonna be the rabbit year coming soon. I think the moon. I don't know remember when is the moon. I know my Chinese neighbor starts saying Happy New Year since yesterday, so maybe I missed it. So maybe I'm not a tiger anymore, because I will have to wait 12 years. But nevertheless, I'm Alexandre Frédéric Joly, your coach AF. So welcome in the Agile Lounge for Business Agility with the Friday Live Agile live streaming on different subject. And today, once again, I will dare, because I care, to talk about the WEF or the WAF. And what I've showed you at the intro is, as I said, it was my team and I during the pandemic. It was May 13, 2020. I did two, one in French, one in English. It's a Agile online forum gathering people, mostly other Agile coaches, transformation agent, business transformation coach, and consultant. So that was nice. So I showed you a glimpse on the third hour, talking about the digital conversion, and it was an aspect of I improvised myself and helping restaurant in my neighborhood doing making their order through Instagram, Facebook, Uber, and stuff like this. So that's the real sense of agility. It's customer experience, it's customer satisfaction and feedback and innovation and outcome based, not metric based, such as the burn down chart. Oh my god! So, anyways, and I also receive nice letters today and this week. And that's why we have a survey. So if you're on LinkedIn, welcome on LinkedIn, but linked out and go to the YouTube and the comment of the live, the LinkedIn live, you should have the link to come join me. And I think Ryan is there. Hi, Ryan. I don't know, Craig, if you are here. from the studio. We're broadcasting everywhere, Rumble include. We are probably now 16 people altogether, but I don't know per platform yet. And once again, those on Rumble and YouTube, you watch off the show without being a subscriber. So subscribe and hit the bell. That will help the channel. And one other thing that will help also to grow and to help sharing our ideas if you like it. So smash the like button. That will help us beat these digital algorithm. Yeah. And if you don't like it, give me a thumb down too. But please give us a comment why. And by knowing why, we'll be able to improve. That's the all essence of also being agile. So hello to you, Ryan. Nice to have you with us today. And yes, Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. I won't stand up on my chair. So today, it's a special 101, the Room 101, and one of the probably most dystopian book I ever read. I don't know if you remember what was happening in the Room 101. I think 2 plus 2 equals 5. And yeah, I will start that rough. And according to the letters that I received from especially my dear Real Agile podcaster who jog with me, who do the spinning with me and a lot of things. And I thank you so much for your support and stuff. But there were some, how could I call it? It's not customer, it's customer feedback in a sense, but I mean, I searched the word listener feedback. They say that we love your authenticity, Coach F. We love your boldness. So keep going. However, I'd like to change and to not change, but I'd like to tune some of my tone and the way I will approach it to be more inviting and more welcoming. I'm sure my squirrel that is watching with us today will agree on that. And one thing that I receive as a great positive and constructive criticism is someone told me about the creator of Dilbert, Scott Adams, who have a podcast. So I subscribe to the podcast, and he's doing just like every morning with a cafe. Of course, I won't do it every morning. I don't have time for that, but every Friday, let's say. And he says like he's just in front of the camera recording it for Spotify and Apple, and he's just natural, making his coffee in front of us, starting playing a music, having a book in his hand, and having a talk and a conversation. So of course, I would like to stay who I am, but depending on the program, I might be more like just jump into this while we refine the way we'd like to show up in the world. And I say we. Of course, I'm the front here, but I would like to thank once again Anna Gorski, who really support my back with the messaging, the inbox everywhere, because once again, I'm not anymore on social network. 95% of everything you'll see, it's by my team. And I would like to thank Elizabeth Marinari as well, Samuel Ball, my marketing digital soulmate. And we are sold out for next Thursday. Could you imagine that? Even I have a waiting list of 3 people. So we'll see. I've got a meeting tonight with the Devil Diner Bar. So we'll see with the management if I could expand the 22 place now, because we already expand more than 20. So we have space, we have tables for 22 people. The lunch and the drink are on your own expense. And come and talk about this new world of work, this new world of economy, this new economy, everything based on the different article from Steve Denning, his new book, Reinventing Capitalism. Do we have to reboot and reinvent capitalism? Do we need a reset? What kind of reset? So that's also that's something that we'll be able to do in person with very nice South American and East Coast diner bar food, with the drink of your choice and everything at your own expense. But I will have a surprise with you. That's what I'm going to conclude tonight with the Magnificent Gael, the customer service manager at the Devil Diner Bar. I might have for you some freebies when you arrive, and then you will have the time to arrive at the Scrum here and to take. So continue. The link are in the YouTube and Rumble description of this live streaming that will stay as a continuous video. You have the link to at least be on the waiting list. We never know. I might free some space if someone cancel or what have you. So I'm excited. About 25 people, maybe, talking about this new world of work, this new economy, and everything and everything. And apparently, Larry Page is making a comeback. Watch it on your LinkedIn feed. That's something that we might have a discussion on too. But this week, I choose to talk to you about the World Economic Forum should control the world. What do you think about it? Tell me right now in the chat for those who are live on this Friday, January the 20th, or in the comment after when you rewatch it after the live stream. It's always a redistribution everywhere on social media. So tell me, answer that question, and also answer me if you want, starting next Friday, if you still want me at 12 noon Eastern time, which 11 Central for a lot of my viewers are in Texas. And tell me also if, or should I move up at 10 a.m. Eastern, which will be 9 a.m. Central, and 3 p.m. also for my friend in North Africa and France. And or should I stay at 12 noon as I did since Tulum? And I think I choose 12 noon when I was in Tulum because it was 11 Central. That's the kind of thing. But anyway, tell me. I'm more than happy to follow you. And we have an answer to: should the World Economic Forum control the world? Control, no centralized control. All right, so we'll talk about it. I will talk about it today. I've got some couple of ideas on this. Because that's the thing. I call it the WEF and the WAF and the World Agility Forum. We don't have such thing, but we have a lot of forum. We have a lot of talking shit in Agile. We have a lot of forum and stuff. But what about create? Because there's two great events that are happening right now this week, and one is closing at Davos, Switzerland. It's the World Economic Forum, known as the Davos Summit, and we have also another one that goes into what Ryan is telling us right now. It's decentralized collaborative co-creation, and let me show you. Maybe let's go there. Let's go there because it's in person in Austin, Texas, and Morillo, Mexico. But you also have, if you go to the Greater Reset, they're clever, huh? GreaterReset.org. Let's do a little jump there. Again. Sorry about that. It's the Greater Reset. I will put the link very soon in the chat. So we'll go together because they're live also. It's free. It's free for people who watch it remotely. And and this year, because it's the fourth summit they do, and they literally call it the co-creation. It's the Greater Reset 4 co-creation. And let's go just a little bit, if you don't mind. Let me make sure that I can believe that I used to work in call center doing 5 times in the meantime, and now I'm struggling to share the video, cut my sound to avoid feedback. Let's do it. Perfect.
Have debt, and they're going to run us into a servitude life where we're going to be serfs working the land. I don't like that. You like that? No, I don't want to be a serf. I don't want to be broke. I don't want I don't want to own nothing to be happy. I want all of you guys to be owners. Everyone should be an owner. Well, how are you going to be an owner if you got no money? Now, I'm a capitalist. Anybody a capitalist? Couple capitalists here? The rest of you guys are socialists? Okay. Is everyone a capitalist? Right. Okay. So is there anything wrong with making money and preserving freedom at the same time? Anybody have a problem with that? It's the only way to do it. Oh, I thought I should go live on a mountaintop with a couple sheep. Who is that going to help? Who is that going to help? I want to affect change. I want to save the world. And unfortunately, if you're a socialist, unfortunately, you need money. You need power. You need influence to do that. So how about if we can do both? So I propose we use the same 3-part plan, but we change it a little bit. So top down, politics. Yes, let's focus on politics. Now, politics is kind of a waste of time. We've seen in the last election, your vote doesn't matter. They're going to manipulate it anyway. Probably doesn't matter. Okay, well, I'm a fighter. As long as I'm breathing, I'm swinging. If there's a tool to vote, I'm going to vote. Our local politics matters more. Obviously, your sheriff is super important. Your governor is important. Your DA is important. The further away it gets, less relevant.
It's very interesting.
don't wanna
These are
spend
not
a bunch of
agilist
time and
motherfucker.
effort,
These are
but I'm gonna do
people
what I
that
can.
want another way, other ways
Next,
for us.
that's
Let's
top
see.
down.
Let's say
Politics.
top down,
Bottom
bottom
up.
everything. Let's just
Education.
a little bit, and we'll come back to.
I reach about 5-6 million people a month on my radio, my YouTube, my podcast, trying to educate, trying to wake people up. I ask that people take those ideas and go discuss them with their friends and their family and their neighbors. Discuss them. Everyone has a role to play. Listen to these ideas from Joe Rogan or from Jordan Peterson or whoever, and just go discuss them. Samuel Adams, one of our founding fathers, says it doesn't take a majority to prevail, but rather a small, irate minority keen on setting brush fires in the minds of men. The brush fires in the minds of men are ideas. It's education. Spread it. Okay, but here's where we get real change. This is the part that I like. The inside out. All of the change has come from the corporations. Disney went woke. Coca-Cola used their money. I don't know if you guys saw the story. Coca-Cola went woke, and they used their money to go after all these people that were trying to ban Coke by calling them racists. You don't want sugary drinks? You're a racist. Literally, that's what happened. So they're affecting change. And so we have these corrupt legacy systems. Anybody think the education system's corrupt? What about mainstream media? What about finance? BlackRock and those guys. Yeah. What about health? Right. They're corrupt. We all agree on that. Should I spend my life's energy and time to try to change the education system? Do you think that we could change the education system? But I can pull my kids out and I can homeschool them. I can't change mainstream media, but I reach 5 million people a month on my own. I can't change finance, but I can pull my money out of BlackRock and I can buy Bitcoin. And I can't change the health system, but I can see my own doctor, my own sister, who's a doctor. So let's look at this. Here's the opportunity. We want to make money and we want to change the world. Now, in order for us as consumers to have the power, we need to spend the money with companies that represent our best interests. The problem is that we want convenience. Now, I know that this iPhone spies on me everywhere I go, and I hate it, but I still carry it. I still carry it. You know why I still carry this? Because no entrepreneur has started another company that gives me another option. You know there's an iPhone and there's an Android. You know there's other operating systems like Graphene OS, for example. I can download Graphene OS. I could run a secure phone. I could still have all my apps secure in a sandbox. The thing wouldn't spy on me. I don't really have 20 or 30 hours to work on that. But if one of you guys could import phones from China, put the Graphene OS on there, sandbox it, and sell it as a complete kit, I'd probably buy it. And I bet if enough of you guys did that, would buy it, I bet Apple would be forced to change what they're doing if they started losing market share. That's easy. Go on to Alibaba, find someone that makes the phones, download the Graphene OS, sandbox, and put them on Amazon, sell them for $400 and make $1 million. And then change the world. What about the education system? Homeschool pods. What do teachers make? 50 grand, 60 grand a year? Get 10 kids in a pod, 10 grand. You're making more money than you were as a teacher. You could scale that. I could put pods all over the country. I could bring more teachers in. I have a ranch here in Drip. I also live in California, they call it. I hate to tell you, I live in California, but that's because I'm not going to run. I'm going to fight. That's my home. Now, I have a ranch. If I have to run, I got a place to go. But I have a lot of friends that are teachers in California, and they hate it. They hate that they have to teach what's in the California school system. It's probably the worst school system in the country, and they hate that they have to teach it. But why? Why are they doing that? Why can't they just go start a homeschool pod, make twice the amount of money that they were working before, and affect positive change? If enough kids left the public school system, maybe the public school system would have to change. What about other things? Educational materials. What kind of books? Child books, comic books, videos, educational videos, all types of education that could be made for this giant movement of kids that are going to homeschool. We need all this education materials. Like I said, videos, comics, whatever. What about activities? Now, you could take your kids to drag shows. You guys want to do that? You don't want to take your kids to drag shows? Well, how about creating activities for kids that are homeschooled? All types of capitalist ideas that can create positive change. What about media comms? I can create my own channels, and I make a lot of money doing that. You could do the same. What about dissident technology? What about apps that preserve my privacy? Ways to do communications? Lots of ideas. The Daily Wire. The Daily Wire is an example. They created a media company, and they're creating films, and they're making a lot of money. It says, one of America's fastest growing media companies and countercultural outlets for news, opinion, and entertainment. We're building the future you want to see. That's what they say on their website. Finance. I'm going to run through this quick. I'm running short on time. Finance. What about finance? All types of financial education. Everyone gives their money to BlackRock, and BlackRock uses that money against them. Why do people give them that? Because they don't know any better. They don't have any other options. They don't know what to do with their money. All types of financial education. Most of my information I put out is investing information. I'm in that space. Plenty of room for everybody. What about other stuff? All types.
All right, people. So you hear it. So that was live exactly from Austin, Texas, Central Texas. This greater reset number 4, co-creation, a different way of life, another way of life, decentralized, ultra-federalized, where community agreed. Yes, invitation is very nice, but after the invitation, you have to do something with the people that join you in an open space or in the forum and everything. And we have to do it in co-creation, co-actively acting together and be different. And this exactly I love the spirit. Like, and yes, we are always into a polarity, a duality. But one thing I've learned when I study in physics and astrophysics, especially in cosmology, is that a 3-density world like we are require a certain type of energy, so a certain type of polarization. So the energy we exchange between human, with nature, with animals and everything, it's always a two-phase, two ways. It's always two connector. It's AC/DC. And so we're kind of trapped into it. And I know if I go a little bit more Scully than Mulder, there's people who express some theory or some ideas that the Earth itself, beyond the Chan Thomas book, Adam and Eve, on the pole shifting, and again, the pole shifting of our Earth moving. So this is why, if you, like me, travel the world into a megalithic ancient site of India, Peru, Bolivia, and some other place that it's even hidden. That's why the tour guide, I'm going to be with them. I can wait for that on February the 13th in Mexico. Throughout the land of Mexico, traversing 10, 12 states and everything. So the amazing thing is when I'm in front of those temple or in those megalithic structure, they are upside down. You see stairs upside down. You see stuff. So something happened maybe around 12 years ago on this planet that shift the polarity, that shift everything. But nevertheless, we're trapped in it. So you could become a yogi and do a lot of meditation, do transcendental meditation. You could be at ease. You could argue like my friend Ryan does. Oh, no, it's not either one of there. Yeah, but the law of physics, the natural law, and the law of cosmic are two things. So the natural law within our 3D have us having this type of continuous combat between a go system and the ecosystem, between you and I as an individual and the we and us as a collective. And so that's why all of these social engineers right now who are in Davos, they talk business. They talk how to keep their profit. They talk how to keep their capital. They are kind of capitalists for free market. But there's so many people, when you are not anymore in a bipolar world between the Soviet Union, and I'm sorry about that, what happened, because my feedback told me that I was too close to the microphone. Sorry about that, if you heard a slash. So here's the thing. So that's why, yes, especially for an American, after the McCarthy things in the 50s, communists, and after what Hitler did in Germany also, communists. Yeah, but it's communists, socialists, fascists, all the ist. Let's come together at ISTA instead of IS. In ISTA is the International Sensual Sexual Temple Art. Ista. Isn't it beautiful? And we learned to try to move out, to break the cycle. And that's interesting because I do Scrum. I literally do Scrum. I am not Scrum, but I do Scrum since 1999. And one thing that I've learned in my old self, I'm not just a fucking Scrum Master and I'm just a fucking Agile coach. I'm a human being, or even though, am I a fucking human being? Maybe I'm just dreaming within a dream that I'm someone who tried to make a difference in this universe. And the universe is greater. It's a lot greater than this little planet that is now with 8 billion people trapped in the duality between socialists and capitalists, the othering, exactly. I don't like it either. My friend. Don't get me wrong. But what will be the way or the ways to actually really be into a cosmopolitan of ideas? And my intention back in 2020 during the pandemic, having less contract and having this kind of 2 weeks to flatten the curve, motherfucker, that was a coup d'etat. That was a social engineering program. And exactly what is discussed right now. Tony Blair yesterday at Davos really push again this idea of a global health passport to travel and the 15-minute cities and all of those controlling. Keep that in mind. I'd like to know more about othering. Maybe I'm mistaken and I misunderstand as I'm not a native English. But anyways, what I was explaining though is we have to break free of this duality. Yes, I agree. But we will never, ever agree because we are unique people. So that's why my device in French, ensemble, together, and différent, different. We are different, so we have to learn to understand each other over controlling each other. So that's what's happening right now. The glimpse I showed you in Austin, Texas, live at the Greater Reset from the Freedom Cells Network of the People's Reset, there were talking about alternative, other ways, multiple ways, and every freedom cells could decide. It's a working agreement. So you take the power of Scrum beyond software fucking development, beyond the things of the engineer. You put people first and you create your agreement after the invitation. So you could choose the power of choice, where I want to live, with who, and what do we agree to do, and are we open to change it when we include for real new members or someone leave and what's happening and everything. So it's continuous change. It's continuous development or continuous. So see, so that's why they like me when we try to facilitate any kind of community agreement, a freedom cells agreement. So this is this one side of love. And by the way, in my ticker, I said WEF or WAF. So WEF, it's World Economic Forum. WAF is the World Agility Forum that I would like to co-create with any one of you who's watching it right now, January the 28th, 2023, or after. So please contact me, especially through YouTube and Rumble. You have all the link to get in touch with me. And then with us after, I hope. And I truly believe that the OLN of this world, the OBS of this world, the other organizations that are really serious about being open and transparent and helping move our civilization forward beyond business and especially beyond things of this sickness engineering social process we are in. So it's the time. I told you, 2023 is our last chance to stand and do something. If you don't pay attention, your rendezvous, that we could translate 2 ways in English. I love it. Because in French, it's rendezvous. It could be soldier in front of you saying rendezvous, surrender. But we have the same word in French, rendezvous, for an appointment. And so for all the English and the Anglosphere out there, the rendezvous, you have to make a choice. Will you surrender yourself, your liberties, into a central planning, smart city, lockdown in 15-minute cities with a digital passport and a digital centralized identity with the CBDC Everything is discussed right now in the Alps and the Swiss Alps in Davos. That's what they're talking about. They're moving their agenda. It was first from Rio 1992, Agenda 21 for the 21st century. Oh yes, a new down will arise. And then the Trilateral Commission and the Bilderberg Group, and then the World Economic Forum that exists since 1971. Trilateral Commission, the same. So they were discussing and planning and continuous planning and adapting. They are really agile, they say. And I think so, because they do it incrementally. They know if they do a revolution like the Bolshevik did in 1905, followed by the more aggressive Gregorian or Gregorian revolution with Stalin helping Lenin, taking over the Tsar and the power after World War I, or sort of, October 1917. You have to understand its history because it's not repeating itself. But now with agility, those motherfuckers, they use sprint and cycle and incremental and increment to achieve their goal. And they even changed the board from Agenda 21 to Agenda 2030. Now maybe they will have to change it again for Agenda 2050 because they have a pushback. You see in New Zealand, they have a reckoning. Maybe soon in Canada, I feel it. I mean, Trudeau, it's like this to be out. It's a minority government here. And now we're going to start auditing McKinsey. McKinsey is the strategic arms of the World Economic Forum, by the way. It's not anymore an independent consulting firm. If you want in a big four, an independent consulting firm, I think you still have the Accenture because of the NDN investment in it. And you will have probably a Boston Consulting Group and maybe Tata, but Tata it's fully managed and owned by Indian interests. So the McKinsey in Delaware and Boston, they were the only one that could be influenced in the West, owned by a United States corporation. And so, and at l'unisson, in French, at unison, McKinsey suggests to all the government of the OCDE, maybe it's not the right term in English, but it's the Organization for Economic Cooperation, OCDE, or something like this. It's all the Western countries plus Japan plus South Korea, and of course Australia and New Zealand. So it's mostly what we very badly and disgustingly call the civilized world, like our friend in South America and Southeast Asia and Africa are not civilized. So you see, again, the one or the other. It's always like something like this. But anyways, now I'm rambling and I'm ranting. So WEF is the World Economic Forum and the Agile Forum. Could we have something, a real open space of everything and think about it? And for me, I so much want it. I so much love to it. So then since 2020, I participating with these guys that I showed you a glimpse, that they propose alternative for a smarter living and a better living on your own term. Okay, it's more about the individual, decentralized, and interfederalism, and how do we collaborate together? That's another way. And yeah, there's pros and cons also with many things there, but that's okay. But at the end of the day, we have to keep it simple, and you have to follow your art. So this is the intuitive leadership. If you keep everything on your left brain and in your mind, even if your right brain really creative, if you're not connecting it with any other part of your energy center in your body, the physical body, and if you never go inner yourself with silence and try to tune into an energy that will give you love. And love, this is what I call, not the NWO. Me, I want to NWL, the new world of love. Because I think it's through love that we will achieve peace, or a certain peace, with collaboration. Because the verb to love, at least in the three languages that I master, will imply that energy that I will love to be there. I would love to do this. So there's maybe a third way or fourth ways. But again, what my mother taught me is with the cosmopolitan, because Montreal was the first and ever true cosmopolitan city in Canada, where we applied the Martin Luther King colorblind, naturally, instinctively. And by the way, this week was the Martin Luther King birthday celebration, and my mother was also born on January the 18th. So happy birthday to both of you. Visionary of and peacemaker. The people in Davos have too much invested, and they're waiting for return on investment. They don't care about you, like Michael Jackson sing. They don't care about us. They are psychopath, sociopath, like most of the CEO I'm coaching right now. They don't care. They don't believe in anything. They are the pure nihilistic, scammer, faker, disgusting being. They're not human. They are being. And whenever they encounter a human being, especially full of love, connecting left and right, the complete mind with his intuition, they kill him. They shut him up. Because they're scared. They're scared of losing what they have for the time they have. When I came on this planet to be told what to do, to be told what to think, to eat, where to go, when to go, I don't want to be part of anything or any agenda. I don't want to associate myself with anyone that would like to work towards a technocratic era, toward a fake world, even deeper than it is now, with just our psychology and our behavior. And so that's it. 2023, I have to make choice. I'm making choice publicly right now. I'd like to stay organic. I'd like to stay human. I'd like to work on being more loving, more welcoming, and channeling my energy with people who are as meaningful, authentic, and truthful as I try to be. Because I'm still learning. I want to learn from you. So on that, let me open the Zoom. Just want to make sure that because today there's a storm in Montreal. Okay, so the bandwidth is okay. So let's open for the next 20 minutes till 1 p.m. Eastern. For those who like to, I see 35 people across the board. And if you ask me again what I have to do with business agility, Scrum, and everything you do with Agile Lounge for business agility, it's everything. I have everything to do with everything. You are a whole being, a full human being. You are not just your fucking job or your fucking contract. So, yes, my friend. Let's finish this with like in the old radio station. Let's open the call. There you go. And let me give you again. Now, if you, so in the past is simply the A word. Oh, sorry again. Okay, so let me open it. Am I? Okay, perfect. So it's going to be again audio. Oh, my screen is flashing, which means there's too many things open. We have a first caller. It's Ryan from Connecticut, I think, but I don't want to really. I made a mistake on purpose. So we have Ryan from Connecticut. Oh my goodness. We don't hear you. Ah, here you are. Welcome to the Agile Lounge for Business Agility. And again, it's just audio right now because if I put the Zoom on screen, I did test it with Anna the other day, and it's a two-way channel with this. So I think so. I don't know, but
so I'm wearing a suit for nothing.
Oh my goodness, you're always wearing a suit. You're always beautiful.
No, you're beautiful. So.
All right. So, I missed a couple. I missed a couple of your chat when I was. But anyways, forget about the chat. You are here, and is there any? Anyways, you could call whenever you want. So all the information are in the chat and comment of LinkedIn. So welcome, Ryan. Are you arrived?
I am here. Yes, I was calming and listening to you. Yes, and I know here.
So, 2 things, 3 things, 4 things. Whoops. I think I lost Ryan. No. Whoops. I don't know. Hold on. You froze. So we missed it. No. What happened? So could you?
So this is me saying that just as the guy on the stage, Mark Moss, I think is that I'm seeing who that is. So yes, he's speaking. There's truth and there's juice in that, right? There's these freedom cells, and that there's education, that there's giving education and liberating people and thinking and talking about ideas. But then it's like, well, you socialists, right? You don't get to play in this game, right? So if the folks who come with that, it's like, hey, who's the capitalist? Who's the socialist? Well, I don't want to be either of those things. I want to be a human being.
Exactly,
and educate, and liberate, and be with people. So that was the trigger. That was the trigger.
Yeah, but okay, hold on a second. I just have as we are public and everything, we just have to be responsible also. That was they're streaming live what's happening in Murillo, Mexico, and Austin, Texas. I didn't pick and choose. Yeah. I didn't know, because if you ask me, I will have. It's not about if I like or not math or whatever. It was the moment right there, right now at 11 o'clock Central, and I just meant to. I could have choose also a video from Tony Blair yesterday saying that we should travel only if we are fully vaccinated, blah blah blah, and so and people will have been triggered. So I'm sorry if you've been triggered by this guy. For me, it was just an example of what's going on. That's an alternative out there. One alternative, not the alternative. So just for the audience to make sure to watch the replay. Yeah. But I welcome you expressing yourself again. That particular segment of having Matt on the stage in Austin, Texas, talking like a great American, of duality, and there's even called a California, instead of California, I heard something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is disrespectful for other Californians who are real capitalists or whatever. So.
And I get what you said. It was just rolling the dice, and he happened to be up when the lounge is here. So
yeah, exactly. But he made great point about the decentralized finance, decentralized education in school and stuff. So I mean, it's part of.
So this is the point. So that there are folks having these ideas coming here, and there are folks that have these ideas coming here. Where do we? And then there's all of this. It is about being patient. The mess that is human beings who aren't in the same head at the same time. And you know this from your background and your mom and that years and years dealing with the human mind and trying to tease out that from was she a psychologist or a psychiatrist? I forget which.
Psychologist.
Psychologist.
Yeah, so, she was not working with big pharma.
She was not
That's okay. That's okay.
You see the thing. So yes, he's standing on the stage. He's got his point of view, right? And the folks, and the Coca-Cola folks, and whoever, and the Davos folks, there are different points of views. We realizing that is who is your audience? Where's the locality? Where is the freedom stuff?
I would have to tell you though, when I participate, I don't participate in this one because I'm too busy and I'm preparing my learning experience in Mexico because I'm going to be an assistant tour guide in the megalithic Mexico. So I won't do anything agile or anything business for a great 2 weeks, learning from a great master who is on the History Channel, by the way. It's Brian Foster, a friend of Graham Hancock, and we might meet other scholar and this alternative scientific and geology thing. So anyways, but the thing is, I participate helping them, especially John Bush. John Bush is a co-founder of the Greater Reset. Greater, guys, not the great, greater.
Yeah.
And what amazed me when they do the D3 conference, also D3 for decentralized digital, I don't remember. It's all about,
is it democratized?
yeah, something like this. So it's 3D. And they're not just talking about technology and blockchain. They're talking about everything, life, health, and what amazed me on the first one in January 2020, or was it? No, it was May 2020, is the fact that in Austin, Texas, let's say, or virtually, they have people with different background. You have people from right, left, center, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's very diverse. So maybe we catch this moment with Matt, but if you go later this afternoon, you will have someone that maybe will talk about something when we do at the Purple Squirrel Cafe, more like human expanding and stuff. And then tonight you're going to have someone talking about how to clean your firearm and shoot your neighbor if he stole your potato. So, I mean, it's really diverse and in that sense. Compared that's it. Compared to Davos, who it's exactly the consensual, conventional, but it's all about follow the money and follow the network of money. And like Bill Hicks used to say in one of his shows, it's just a ride. It have to be real because I have a lot of money invested in it. So I mean, but Davos, that's the thing, and they push onto us. They push. They're not. We cannot pull idea, and with the freedom cells, that's the beauty of it. Because when you look at the freedom cells, you have the geolocalization, yes, but you also have the mindset and the culture that people would like to build. So you're invited, but if you don't like it, you jump to another one and what have you. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's about, and this is one thing I learned at the open space this past weekend that I facilitated, is that it is so critical to know who is in the room with you, and to be patient with them, and to understand, to show that the thing that I grieve, maybe I haven't fully grieved, that we think is lost, is this sense of grace, right? To be able to show that you may have opinion XYZ about ABC because thing 1, 2, 3 in your background, and that is passion, that is fire for you. And if I want to communicate with you and come to some kind of path forward, it is on me to receive that fire and be with it for a moment or two, and believe that you are a human being with value, that your life is valuable, and that there's a reason you feel and think and do what you do, right? And that is I believe that there is still capability for grace in those of us who have soul.
Speaking of grace and open space, remember last time when I hang up on you guys? And I'd like to brought it up. I'd like to brought it up even openly here because you put it. Will I have? Do I feel that I have to apologize to either the gentleman or yourself? Absolutely not. It was an energy thing. It was an energy thing, and even if I, like you just explained brilliantly, I'm always open and completely blank page when I meet someone until I start feeling the energy and the intention from that person. So when I see that those value in that human being are not contradicting mine, I don't care about it because we could have a conversation about it. But I don't see any opening. I don't see any bridge that we could make. I don't see that person, and I use the word person for a reason here, inviting me at the side of the table for me to see and to mirror what he's seeing. That's why I lost it. And I lost it. It was not about me at first. It was about this magnificent lady who just answered your question, and all the way he came and closed the door. Boom! And me, like, you see my body language. Boom! That's what I felt. I said, "Shit, man, who the fuck are you in Scotland?" I won't name him, but I mean, really, it's a disgraceful person. He didn't have grace, to my point of view, at that moment, that snippet. And then but I mean, go.
And this is the point. That space, there was zero boundary. The invitation, there was not a clear invitation that what were you coming for? What was he coming for? What?
Yeah, so but when you start doing this,
but that's the thing.
It's very like, and
I realize. So if I may, I'll let me put my view of this in here. Is that I'm viewing that space as that topic that caused the two of you to go out like that. That was random. That just happened, and that space we were in was not the space for that topic. So that energy that you had and he had, and that, to me, that was exactly what needed to happen, because
exactly. And by the way,
and if not, now if that topic was something that both you and he wanted to talk about and have, then I would have said, we have an agreement to hold that space to say, well, what are we actually talking about, and why are we here talking about it? Not just my generic, hey, let's kind of get together, figure out, we have some random people here, some people I know, okay.
But even the topic, like the topic is like a tool, it's like a thing. It was more like the entire energy field that I was there, like, and so I mean, okay, I said whatever, but whatever, and even if it was an in-person thing in a hotel room, let me tell you, I would have done the same thing. I would have said, like, so long, guys, and boom, I will leave, because I heard someone telling me that they watch after. And you were saying after I left that, oh, if it was in person, you would have not have been courageous. Oh, yes, whatever. And even though I would have left the building, I would have left because I didn't want to be in that space, whether it's virtual like right now or it's in a space. I don't have time. You talk about patience, and I agree with you. I need to work on my patience, yes, generally speaking. But in the meantime, especially with what happened to me during Christmas and everything, and I saw one of my friends also, like, in 2 seconds, he could have just jumped out of this world. I mean, sometimes meaningful people and meaningful space with great energy. I'm not asking for think alike, absolutely. I don't want everybody agree with me, but I don't want to waste those moments. Into this kind of, I didn't feel it. It was like, so I just want to do a kind of a quick retrospective, having you about this, because what you describe, I love it so much. The grace and the being open, understanding it in front of us, even a stranger, is an entire world with values and stuff, and I embrace that. But when something happen, I will.
But there is that grace. There is to be able to show that and to have that and to be with that. There's a set of constraint around that. I mean, in general, I am going into this conversation with the open slate of what that this person, I am going to receive who they are as they are in this moment for this reason. And that's a choice. Grace is a choice, right? And that if that wasn't an agreement that, okay, so if you're going to be here, we are going to talk about stuff that's going to piss you off, that maybe, and that because that's the agreement, you are agreeing, if you're going to enter here, that show grace, honor the dignity, and then engage with the content, right? Because that was not the agreement. And to me, I'm like, hey, that happened.
Actually,
that's cool.
Let me show you what Mike Beadle used to do when we started a workshop, if I could find it. It was a beautiful.
I so wish I would have known him, because of the story that you said about him and Daniel, he just sounds like a lovely human. Like he was such a lovely human being. My public tears are coming.
Because with the grace you explained beautifully, he had the 4 A's. I cannot find it. Sorry, I'll show you maybe in private later when I found it.
Yeah, sure.
That was like, he was always having this big post-it in the room with the 4 A's: accept others, be aware, and I don't remember the other 2, but that was like, agreement was there too, and that was nice. I mean, like the 4 A's of let's kick out this workshop and learn together. So with
as
4 A's, yeah. So that's me. I'm really positively optimistic and realistic, and the real, because I love this world now with 8 billion people, make a lot of real diversity, not based on gender, race, and blah blah blah. And race, we are only one race, if you ask me. The rest is flavor. I love to call it flavor. We have strawberry, chocolate, banana, vanilla, caramello. Like me, I prefer to call myself a caramello. You and I, we are not white. You're pinky purple, and I'm orange caramel. Come on. I mean, and even black, and the black and white thing is not even, they're not even color. And the spectrum of light. It's a spectrum of light thing.
Yeah.
And so that's, anyways, but I mean, like, there's so much thing out there that they won't be able to control us. And when I say we here, I'm talking about the social engineer that work in the back stage of the World Economic Forum, which is a front. It's a big think tank. A lot of people, and I made it on purpose. This title was actually a tweet from Elon Musk. Question on his tweet. I made it on purpose to clickbait, and it's working because there's 46 people watching us right now all across the box. So again, say hello to my great friend Ryan and myself, and you could comment, like, whatever you want to do. If you want to jump on the Zoom, it's in the chat. I think it is. Yes, it is. So jump with us. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I think a lot of people are not shy. I don't say shy or intro extrovert, but you cannot see Anna when she said after a show the amount of email we receive. Some are from haters and whatever. That's okay. And we also have a lot of love message, and sometimes she filter it for me depending on how I feel and what's my emotion level. So, but that's okay. I mean, that's okay too, because these people need to express themselves. Maybe like you were triggered by Matt showing this, and then someone they just look at 35 seconds of something and they don't like the way you and I or someone else expressing something. So it's like this. Oh, by the way, could you help me with my English? Because maybe when you put something in the chat saying othering, is it othering?
Othering, yeah,
Othering.
it's kind of an invented word.
Okay.
It is the act of separating me from you. Is that what makes us different? I am myself. You are the other.
So that's
Right.
the way I received it, but because I'm not a native English, I was like, what is wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was like,
And that's what that to me is that this is part of it. Okay, so what is the work that I'm here to do in the world? Is it to make software teams engineer stuff faster so that they can feed the greed? No, it is not. You know, it is my hope is that I can be involved in the creation of spaces where conversations that have meaning and impact and that grace can happen, that people will begin to understand one another. This is better conversation. The better conversation can produce better outcomes that have positive impact.
okay, so othering is kind of, you try to make an adverb of,
So yeah, other or a verb. So and this is what I should have said where I was going with it. That there's othering, and then what I feel is important is this togethering, right? So the othering is that, togethering is this. You know, so let's be closer together and see each other. You know, I'm going to look in that white camera, and you look at your screen. I'm looking into your eyes. You know, can you feel that? And that to me is what all this stuff, hopefully this technology that could be built that would enable more of that, more of this kind of being together.
yeah, during the show earlier, I didn't have time to open my my Harper's dictionary online, which is an application on my Mac. And now I'm entering exactly the way you write it, othering. And of course, it brings me to other with adjective, pronoun, verbs, and that. But I like this one. I like this one is if you want to use othering, that could mean denoting those remaining in a group or those not already mentioned. That's from Harper's. So they look the other three away from the group to create a new group. Oh, interesting. I don't know.
I mean, and this is where when I talk about it, I have to kind of be explicit about when I talk about it. Because there's this and you've heard about it, this in-group, out-group kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah. Or it's other or the other. It's one or the other. And but again, you know, when we study in physics, the beginning in our bachelor, so the teacher came in the class and he said, like, okay, I don't know your background, I don't know you. We're gonna spend 13 weeks together exploring physics. We have to understand one thing: is we're in a 3D world, and for that world to stick together, we need a polarity. So we are not doing sociology or philosophy here; we are doing physics. So keep your thought. So that was in the context of a physics course, but what I realize is when we talk about substantion, the interrelation of all the atom and all the element, that you could actually transfer it to the human being moving on the planet, because that's what's happening. Actually, you know what I realize? It's cancer. When you have a cancer, and I know you're a survivor, so don't. I hope I won't trigger you with this talk, but I mean, what I learned is, like, you know, we are 8 billion human beings. Put us into a cell or a red or white globule. And then if one of us don't want to think of the whole, and we disagree, we're going to make war, and war destroy a part of the land. So that's cancer also. Like our inner world, it's billions and billions of cells and proteins and stuff that moving alone. And when they don't want to do their function as a globule or the protein they transform themselves. Oh, I'm an individual, so that's the cancer cells, and that individual start disrupting the old thing and stuff. And so it's kind of amazing. So now probably people will be triggered. Jolie is a communist now. He wants us to be in the oneness. No, but there's something beyond the fact that for me, when I created back in high school this ensemble et différent, together and different, that was because chemically we are different. Your eyes, Ryan, your beautiful eyes, it's a one-time deal on this cosmos, not just on this earth. Even if you're reborn somewhere in another galaxy, you won't have the same eyes. Nobody will. And add, the snowflake are unique. I mean, that's the uniqueness. It's important, but it doesn't have to become an ego system and destroy and becoming a cancer of narcissistic demeasure of destroying the community, because the community needs all the difference to build something amazing. I think, I don't believe it, I just think of it, and I wish I could collaborate and co-create something like this. So that's what it means. Anyways, I'm becoming crazy again.
I actually see that the ensemble. How do you can you speak it again for me? I just love how you say it.
Ensemble. Ensemble. Pardon?
The ensemble, the same and different. You said it together. It was like this phrase that really that rang.
Je vous invite à être ensemble et différent. I inviting you to be together and different.
Be together, yeah.
And actually, you know, I was inspired by my Irish side of the family because, and I think it's the Gaelic language, or, anyways, it's not necessarily English, but when they speak English, they use a term, and please correct me, you're probably more English than me. They use togetherness, not together, togetherness. And there's a say in Ireland. In Ireland, they talk about let's build castle and togetherness, or togetherness will build castle, something like this. I don't know which one came first, and the togetherness thing. It's that probably better translation from the French Britain ensemble. Togetherness. It's more than together, actually. So we should say something. We should try to have an English phrase with togetherness and different. I don't know how to actually syntactically or grammarly. Yeah.
Well, we, you know, our friend Sheila, her being and brand is this joyful together.
We have another call.
And
continue.
Yeah.
I will welcome Great Kramer. Go on. Excuse me. Go on.
And the thing about that is it is not only just we are joyful together, but we are experiencing in this moment now joyful togetherness, and that I think is really, that's a really beautiful way of saying it and being a thing. I want to have joyful togetherness with you and with Greg too now. So here we go.
Welcome, Greg.
Thank you.
Once again, Greg, it's just the audio will streaming live on Rumble and every other platform. So don't worry, we don't see you, we hear you only. And by the way, that's why, Ryan, I do it, because anybody could call on this new way of doing the Friday Live Agile. So I just want to respect the privacy. So if it's only the voice on the live stream, it's I think it's better. So I don't have to do a lot of things and blah 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 and be removing this. So Greg, welcome. Welcome to this year of the rabbit. I think, when is the new moon? Is it tonight or whatever? Anyway, so because I'm a tiger, so I won't be in my year anymore. Nah. Who is a rabbit? Are you a rabbit, Greg, or?
I don't know what I am.
Okay.
So I think that's.
So you just have to go Chinese astrology year, and then it's every 12 years.
Yeah, no.
I know Ryan is a squirrel.
But I did jump on a little bit late, and I heard you mention Mike Beadle, and so obviously I was a huge fan of Mike's, and I actually even like towards the end with him, I was hanging out pretty closely with Mike. So.
And yes, could you help me remember, like, if you went into his workshop, you know the sheet that he has with the 4 A's, that stands for what? Acceptance, agreement. Because I have it somewhere in my computer.
Like that was part of anything he was teaching when I was, under his tutelage.
Yeah. Because that was like the rule of entering his workshop. Because Ryan was sharing his great definition of grace and stuff, and I think Beadle was a natural, graceful person.
Yeah. He was a man ahead of his time, to be sure.
Oh, yeah. On everything.
All you nutty postmodern management theorists that are like, it's going to take 10
tell
years
me-
of business schools to figure out, what you guys are up to.
Tell me, Greg, you were more like a friend of John, I think. Is that right? Because we never met in Chicago or even in New
so
York.
my entree into your world was via Daniel Mezek. And so Daniel Mezek and I go back a long time, and that was through like separate channels. But I had never heard of Scrum and agility and stuff. And now, so Daniel was kind of my entree into this whole Scrum world, and then I've been, then the Mike Beadle and all these kind of different enterprise Scrum, and like, hey, let's just do everything Scrum.
I don't remember. I know.
Scrum or
Yeah. Do you know Michael Orman too?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I know Michael Herman.
Because I remember Michael Orman and I think John Jorgensen were
John.
introduced to Scrum certification by Mike, if I'm not mistaken. Michael Orman for sure I know. Daniel Mezek, I don't remember if he took the course with Mike Beadle or another guy. But
They were pretty close friends.
yeah, I know. And the funny thing is, for my extensive, I exchanged with Mike since 2009, 2010. Since we have met in San Diego once in a Go-To conference, arguing with Dean Lincoln-Well, by the way. Sorry, I'm laughing because just the memory of it, seeing Mike moving away, Jeff Shutterland, and see what's going on with me arguing with Dean Lincoln-Well. And this is when we kind of met. But of course, I was following him on a whole MIRC channel of discussing about Scrum and Enterprise Scrum and business agility back then. And when we finally met in Chicago in 2015, starting to, because he wanted my help in marketing the stuff and so on. So that was great. But every time I was seeing him in New York, because New York was closer to home for me. So every time we went to Boston and New York together, he says like, you have to meet Daniel Mezek because you both crazy, you're both loudmouth, and you're both making trouble. So and I was supposed to meet Daniel in October 2017, a year before Mike passed away, and unfortunately I couldn't make this conference in Chicago, and I think Daniel couldn't meet us in March of 2018, 2 weeks before Mike, because Mike says, let's meet in New York, all of you. And let's invite Mezek to the Business and Agility Institute. But for some reason, Daniel didn't show up. So that's, and I still didn't meet Daniel in person after all these years. Can you imagine?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Because the fucking coup d'etat we call the COVID-19 happened. And then, yeah. So it's all virtual now. So I'm sorry. I'm just like, no filter. The fucking coup d'etat.
Yeah, no, I think. So
Anyways.
the Australian woman resigned yesterday,
Yeah.
like the pressure.
But I'm sad. I'm sad because she was beautiful. I love to look at her. I will. No, I'm just kidding. She was now the New Zealander Prime Minister. And when I saw it, even on LinkedIn, Greg, I posted a reply on someone who was cheering up the fact that she resigned. I said, "Oh, that's good news because she's part of the same alumni class of global leader of my prime minister here. So I hope he's going to, especially with the McKinsey scandal we have here right now, $2 billion for the COVID thing, spent very badly. Now we're going to lose Ryan with that. I don't want to lose Ryan.
That's okay. I think I do have my lunch kind of starting to cook around here. So I have to exit the room. Greg, it's good to see you again. I remember from last time you're on, and I hope to see you.
Yeah, you're my most reliable fans or watcher or listener. I don't know. And now don't be surprised. I'm gonna push more Spanish and French content, so don't be disappointed sometimes if you see an alert and it's in French or Spanish. But yes, I try to I'd like to show up in the world in the three language I understand. And I put the Mike Beadle in Spanish. Yeah. Well,
Ryan, are you a Bitcoiner?
of course I am.
I'm
Oh,
not
Ryan.
Well, I am not invested in Bitcoin at this point. No, but I'm not adverse to it.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy, man. So that's what got me over to Coach AF. I mean, if you kind of draw out what the implications are for having decentralized money, it's pretty mind-bending in terms of, to me, it puts enterprise Scrum in play. I think Sutherland has figured that out.
No, he doesn't understand.
But to me,
I'm so sorry to say that. Danielle, if you're watching this, I know it's your friend, but Jeff Sutherland doesn't get it at all right now with the blockchain revolution. That is, as you say, enterprise Scrum.
I would say this is different than blockchain revolution. It might be was hype. So I separate blockchain from like the idea of having decentralized money is so crazy. And
anyways, Ryan, have a great weekend.
I have to check out their stuff.
No problem. So see you soon. Bye-bye. So great. We could continue a little, maybe for another 10 minutes. Let's round up for a 90-minute show. And what we could do together, maybe you could come as a guest if you'd like, depending on the privacy you cherish or not. And we could talk about this. We could do a capsule of crypto agile and talking about decentralized finance and the importance of agility into building it. I don't know, something, whatever, or just do a natural kind of a Rogan open mic on the subject, and we just talk and we put it live to everyone to see. Maybe, I don't know, because it's
I'd be up for that. Did you ever reach out to Max Kaiser?
Max Kaiser, is he the young entrepreneur who? I'm not sure.
Max Kaiser,
Max Kaiser. Yes, sorry, I didn't hear well. I heard a Skyler or something. Max Kaiser. Yes. What's the question about Max and Stacy?
Well, I didn't know. You had talked about reaching out to him and Stacy.
Yeah, they didn't come. Actually, they replied to me. He said, "Are you coming to my birthday, which is at the end of the month?" And I cannot because I'm traveling to Miami for a gig the same week, and after I'm going up for Mexico for 2 months. So but if you could travel or do something, I could send you a link because they're gonna do a meetup at the end of the month in El Zonte, Salvador. So you could meet a little Bitcoiner there. Some things I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could definitely be there and with them and start exploring more. Do you have Bitcoin yourself?
Well, I like philosophically. I like everything that it's about, and so to me, just on philosophical grounds alone,
Okay,
I'm a proponent.
because I will say that it's your last 12-month chance to grab some, because after that it's going to be like depending on the way the opposition will. Well, I don't know the outcome of the think tank at Davos with the CBDC. And the pilot program they have in England with the Bank of England and here in Canada with the CBDC, and they will start tricking people into digital currency will not be a decentralized cryptocurrency. Right? So
fuck them, right? Fuck the CBDC.
But it's worse than top down, Greg. It's the whole concept of playing with the mind of people and using buzzword to convince them that this is for their better good and security and safety of their wallet and what have you. And you know what? The fact that I became a maximalist after playing with Ethereum and Monero from John McAfee, and I was really open. And for me, I always for diversity and decentralization. And I do believe that if you and I, we could build a coin and start harvesting cryptography and saying like, oh yes, so this is our Agile coin, and it could have been the Scrum coin. I did suggest to Scrum Alliance that they should have a cryptocurrency. Right. But okay, so that's the point. But at the end of the day, when you look at the standard of practice, this new locomotion that we call the blockchain, and the real McCoy is the Bitcoin network, and Monero just corrected it, the privacy issue at some point, and the transparency of the ledger of the different chain and the block. So the thing is, But I realized very soon enough, it's not about the value on the market, because if you ask me, it's going up again at 21,000 US dollars. I don't care, because for me, I'm using my Bitcoin as a payment alternative and becoming my own bank, and making sure that if the system crash, that was the intention of the Satoshi group. If the system crash, I'll be able to exchange within a network of decentralized people, period. And that was created for the bankless people. So all of those people like Natalie Wood and even Michael Saylor, that I really love the way that he's pushing this alternative payment system. But all of those who see it as an investment or as a replacement of the gold standard or the silver, they're making a mistake. It's nothing to do about it. It's to have a way of doing truck and exchange with a certain type of information gathering within a ledger. So that's it. I mean, and to make sure that people could participate in a community. You see? So when people are scared about, like, oh, you make me less $60,000 because I placed it there and that, and again, Bitcoin right now, it's the only cryptocurrency really decentralized. Monero as well, and Monero, it's even more private than Bitcoin. And with the Lightning Network too, both of them with smart contract will be faster. But you have to understand that Ethereum it's decentralized in the sense of offering the platform and the network to anyone. But this is because of Ethereum that we have all of these inflation of shitcoins. And all the shitcoins are centralized and owned by someone. Even BlackRock and Goldman Sachs own a couple of coins. Don't remember which one, but anyways. And the FTX thing, that was perfect. I loved it. I'm happy that FTX happened.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Because now people understand the great value of the principle, the guiding principle behind the Bitcoin. And what we
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's right. For me, I feel like I don't know how many. Like, you were the first agilist or that I have come across aware of that kind of connected the dots. But to me, that if we are building a new decentralized world, like, it feels to me the first thing we'll get right is the money. And then, from there, like, all the stuff that Mike talked about with decentralized organizations and kind of everything balancing on the precipice of chaos, which I think is, that those theories all, like what a modern organization looks like.
Yeah.
When you've got, a flat world with our traditional organizations crumbling and our money crumbling, but we humans are pretty adaptive and resilient species, and I remain hopeful.
Oh, me too. And actually, I'm really excited about the vibration I feel from whether the conference is happening right now in Austin, Texas, and Murillo, Mexico, with the Greater Reset. I put a link probably in the chat or in the Pine comment of YouTube. I will put it again, so you'll be able to go there. It's free live streaming from Austin and Murillo, Mexico. Let me put it. Can I? Here it is. I'll put it again if I can. So it's ending this weekend.
It does feel like Austin's really got it figured out. They're really doing some interesting stuff down there.
Yeah, but Austin is very funny. It's amazing. It's you have everything for everyone. You have the open carry, you have the libertarian, you have the socio-democrat, you have the artist, you have the queer, you have the conservative tied up, you have the big agile, you have the big waterfall. Everything is in Austin. You could have everything, my friend. And the food is amazing. If you like Kansas and Texas barbecue meeting together, this is it. I mean, and the fried chicken. Ah, man, this is not your bullshit KFC. It's the real fried chicken. I mean, like, just one piece and you have enough. You make me dream. I don't know. Next time I'll be in Austin, maybe in May. I think maybe, I don't know. Oops. So, hey, Greg, it's almost 1:30, so I will call it a shot. I will end the show. But do you have my email, direct email? Because I'm not on LinkedIn anymore, really. So I don't grab my.
Yeah, can you just put it in the chat?
Absolutely.
And then I'm gonna you're on a Friday cadence, right? So are you doing a production every Friday? Is that your plan?
Every Friday and now every Wednesday in French, but unless you speak French. But for us, again, we'll exchange and maybe Anna, my assistant, will help us figure that out. It doesn't have to be a live. If you don't feel comfortable with a live, we could also pre-recorded. I mean, everything is possible, you know. Everything is possible.
I do think this, this business of, people just kind of self-organizing into organizations is really going to be a powerful trend. And so.
Yeah. And what I was saying in the show earlier is when I look at a couple of capsules of Davos, what's happening in Davos, and then people want to remove Schwab's from the front seats and make someone else after 52 years. 52 years he's managing it. It's his little baby. It's a think tank. But it was really hidden since a journalist from Brazil in 1995 went there, film it, and says, "Oh, that's funny. There's a Davos conference." That was the name. There was no World Economic Forum back then. Maybe in the background, and could you believe it's a non-profit organization registered in Switzerland and Zurich? So that's funny. And 95, but it's there since 1971, I think, something like this.
Did you see? Did you already talk about Jamie Dimon? Did you talk about that with his CNBC interview?
No, lately, no. I know he made some wave, but I don't. And he was at Davos. He was at Davos, actually.
Yeah, he had a clip with like CNBC. So I don't know if you had a chance. Have you seen that?
No, I didn't. But maybe I'll look at it because someone, you're the second or third person who talked to me about it. I don't like the guy. He's a fucking crazy.
Well, that's really. I mean, to me, if things break the Bitcoin way. He is sort of, at Davos, he's, the CEO of, the world's, largest commercial bank. Quite frankly, I would say in terms of how many Scrum and people and how many, people he's employed, he probably has, thousands of Scrum people working for him.
Oh, yeah, but that's the funny thing because they understand since this whole thing of Agenda 21 or Agenda 2030 and this UN plan for a sustainable planet and working together. Remember these great words of wisdom? Yeah. That's all started with the Rio conference in Brazil back in 1992, after the collapse of the Soviet Union. So they seized that opportunity, after the collapse of the Soviet Union to say, oh, let's build this new world. So that's not a conspiracy. A lot of people say if you say New World Order on YouTube, you'll be striked. That's not true. And of course they could put a ticker below my. If I put in my title the New World Order, they will put a ticker on YouTube saying
we got a lot. Maybe we should take this offline at some point.
Yeah.
Are you paying attention to what Jack Dorsey is doing with this Nostr protocol? That's making the rounds with how. Uncensorable money and uncensorable communication.
To tell you the truth, what Natalie Wood and Musk and Dorsey do right now could have an interest, but right now I try to concentrate and channel my energy with what's going on in Salvador and what's going on with other building of community for self-sufficiency and food, education for those who have kids, and having a real movement, freedom of movement with digital nomadists and nomad capitalists. So right now I cannot do everything, but I will be more than eager to have either a private conversation, maybe later next week. But the thing is, I'm getting very busy before my trip. But we'll make time. Let's make some times.
Are you an iPhone guy?
Yes, I'm a full Apple guy still. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's an app and it's called Damus. I don't know if it's freely, but that's where if you download DAMUS,
Okay.
That's what I'll
But
do.
anyway, from now on, Greg, let's. I have to close the show. It's 1:30 p.m. now. It's a bit like too long. So let's hang up. And you have my email. Contact me, and we'll start with there. I will reply to your email, and
Okay.
we'll make something happen. All right.
Okay.
Schedule it and do it.
Great.
So thank you. Have a nice weekend, Greg. It was a pleasure to
Okay,
have you on
bye-bye.
the show. All right, guys. So that was the 101 episode of the Friday Live Agile. As you could see, that was nice. So I'd like to do it more often with as many people who would like to jump on these Zoom call on a Friday noon. And by the way, you could still vote in the chat, and I put it in the community section of the YouTube channel. Tell me if you want me to keep it at 12 noon Eastern, which is 11 Central, or moving up earlier in the morning, 10 a.m. Central, or 1 p.m. Eastern for the upcoming Fridays. So I'd like to have your vote because I respect this agile guiding principle of having customer feedback. In that case, it's audience feedback. So tell me more about it, and expect another show Wednesday in French about civilisation numérique, digital civilization. That's what we do. That's going to be with Serge Bouchard and Michael Eldaoui. Talking about the conversion to digital, but all in French on the Wednesday morning, the Café Agile Lounge. So, again, remember who you really are. You are a beautiful human being. You are a powerful human being. So powerful that you always have the choice to be whoever you want it to be and to do whatever you want it to do, but in respect in one another. Cheers and happy weekend.